Welcome to today's custom deep dive. So, imagine you're traveling on the Sabbath, right? A day where travel is strictly forbidden.
Yeah, zero travel allowed.
Exactly. What does your spiritual leader do? Like, do they just stop, or do they wave their hand and, part-time itself, making it a regular Thursday right down the middle of the road just so you can keep walking?
I mean, it's a hilarious ancient Jewish fable, but it cuts straight to the core of what we're unpacking today.
Oh, for sure.
Because we love to build these elaborate workarounds for our own rules while completely missing the original blessing they were supposed to provide.
Right, it's just gaming the system. And this obsession with technicalities, it collides perfectly with historical reality when we look at Jesus and the Pharisees. Like, we all know the classic stories, right? The starving disciples picking grain.
Great, the great.
And the man needing healing, all happening on the restricted Sabbath.
Well, to really understand this clash, you have to look at the why behind the Pharisees' strictness. Like, they weren't just religious killjoys.
I mean, they definitely get a bad rep for that today.
They do, yeah. But strict adherence to the Sabbath was actually their crucial mechanism for maintaining Jewish identity. It was a cultural survival strategy to prevent another historical exile.
Oh, wow. So the rules were literally a fortress designed to protect the sacred.
Exactly. But the problem is, by creating rules to protect the sacred, they sort of ended up profaning it. They turned a day of rest into a rigid traffic light.
Like red means stop, green means go, no exceptions.
Yeah, treating it rigidly and entirely missing the blessing. And Jesus exposes this paradox so brilliantly. He reminds them of King David, eating forbidden temple bread just to survive.
Right, the survival aspect.
Yeah, and then he brings it down to basic economics. Like, if your own sheep falls into a pit on a holy day, you're gonna pull it out.
Okay, wait. So they'd eagerly bend the rules to save their own property, but they use those exact same rules to block a human being's healing.
That is the massive irony here. And it peaks when Jesus actually heals the man with the withered hand simply by speaking.
Wait, really? Just by speaking?
Yeah, he just says, stretch out your hand.
Yeah.
He breaks zero physical labor laws. I mean, he bypasses their entire legal framework without lifting a single finger.
That is amazing. And let me guess, the strict rule followers weren't exactly happy.
Not at all. They immediately start planning his murder.
Wow.
Their system had become so divorced from human empathy that a miraculous healing was literally viewed as a capital offense.
That's just wild. And after that undeniable miracle, Jesus actually withdraws. He keeps healing people, but he actively commands them to keep it quiet.
Right. No ancient PR campaign. No going viral.
No ancient retweets, right?
Right. Because his ultimate mission wasn't spectacle. This fulfills the suffering servant prophecy from Isaiah. He was addressing the deep root of human suffering, and that requires quiet sacrifice and redemption.
Not just forcing people into submission with loud displays of power.
Exactly.
But I want to push back on this underlying tension a little bit. The famous phrase he uses is, "I desire mercy, not sacrifice." So does that mean the rules and rituals are inherently bad? Because throwing out all the rules just sounds like a recipe for total chaos.
It's a vital distinction, actually. It's not about abolishing the rules. It's about the hierarchy of moral law.
Like the source's food analogy.
Yes. If you prefer steak over Japanese food, it doesn't mean you hate Japanese food.
Right, it's simply an order of priority. Mercy must always come before the ritual.
Exactly. Think of an ambulance running a red light. A traffic light is a good rule designed to preserve life.
Obviously.
But if someone is dying in the back of that ambulance, stopping at the red light actively violates the very reason the light exists in the first place.
That makes perfect sense. True worship isn't about empty rituals.
No, it's not about acting like the older brother in the prodigal son story, checking all the obedience boxes on paper while feeling zero love for a suffering sibling. It requires a contrite, genuine heart.
Right. And this isn't just ancient history. We replicate this mindset everywhere today.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, think about modern secular institutions like corporate HR departments or zero-tolerance policies in schools.
We constantly see systems strictly enforcing a rule to the letter while completely crushing a human being in the process.
So true. Well, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought, something we haven't touched on yet to explore on your own.
Yep.
We've talked about how we apply rigid rules to others, but what about the internal rules we enforce on ourselves? Take a look at your own life. Where might you be prioritizing the strict optics of personal perfection? Punishing yourself for every little mistake, while entirely missing the opportunity to show yourself some genuine mercy.